Just realized. Okay, my mic wasn't muted on OBS, but it was my actual mic because of the HyperX. But anyways, welcome back to another stream. We are covering a tornado warning in Oklahoma. This cell's been going up for the past let's see here, probably about an hour, I would say. Little longer than. How far back does this go? Oh, that's why. Nope, I do not want to go to default settings. Okay, there we go. But yeah, if we go back a couple hours, you can see all of these showers and storms that were congealing a bit ago. And this is like the one cell I was like, all right, this is definitely gonna be the one to watch. And had a couple of mergers and whatnot going on there. This is currently both warned. It's tornado warned right now, but it's also warned for 4-inch size hail, which is that's softball size hail that is possible with this cell as well as tornado warned. We also got of course, the tornado threat on this thing. It is a discrete cell, so it does have the opportunity to produce a tornado, and especially what we're looking at right now. Let me actually take a look at velocities. With the last couple scans, they look really strong and tight, but the last scan that just came in, not so much of a, well, I wouldn't say it's not tight couplet, but definitely a little bit more unorganized. But we do have a couple of showers and storms down here coming up towards I think these are going southeast, actually, the same direction as the cell. So this is going to be the one cell that I kind of watch for. This is also, this tornado warnings went for another 40 minutes. This was warned for an hour. So it's a long while for a tornado warning. But I guess we'll take a look at our outlook too while we're at it. So with our outlook, we have an enhanced risk, which was updated, it was upgraded at the 3 o'clock update. And that is mainly for wind, damaging winds. Then here's our tornado risk area, which they have a 1% going all the way from over here near Dodge City in Kansas, all the way to actually Joplin, Missouri, actually. It will be interesting to see if we do have any tornado that does end up kind of firing up over here at all. I would expect this area over here to have a bit more of a tornado threat, considering we've had a little bit more clearing compared to out here, because we have had storms and showers out here. I think we might have still have a storm that's been going on over here. Yeah. So this is what's been going on over here. This complex of storms and showers still make its way southeast now. I haven't taken a look at this satellite quite yet in this area, but we actually are having some clearing behind us actually here. Don't mind the voice clearing there. My throat was just dry. Like dry. And I mean, I haven't drinking too much water yet, so that might be the reason. But I have been drinking. Actually, I actually have been drinking almost a whole bottle of water. Actually, now I think of it, look at it. I don't know. What is it too? We also got a new tornado warning actually over in Ohio too. Let me I left my laptop upstairs. Hold on. All right, so got my laptop. That's good to go. Also, one thing I did, make sure my nose doesn't do what it does pretty much almost every stream so far this year. With me sneezing and whatnot. Interesting. We had a report 2 minutes ago on the ground, and then there was this small cloud report over here, 407. Probably broad rotating wall cloud 10 miles to my west. I also do wonder if we had any debris signature at one point. Because, I mean, if we look at velocities, NCC, That, I mean, it does line up there with it being, I mean, the case for a tornado there. And we did have one tornado port that did say it was on the ground, so I'll see. Let me see. I need to go over to, because I have another tab open for weather-wise. Wow, there is actually quite the wall cloud on this thing. Which, Brandon Montgomery, huh? I need to turn on my audio a little bit here, so. Because this, even though I have this microphone at the lowest gain, it's still gonna pick up any audio that I may listening to with storm chasers and whatnot. Okay, maybe no. Okay, maybe no. The medicine I took earlier did not help. Also, another thing to point out, I should point out too, I guess, is it has been because what? Let me see, because I think it's been 3 years now since that I've had this channel. Yeah, so today my channel is 3 years old, and I'm live streaming on my channel's anniversary. How about that? Let's see if the latest scans come in at all. Which I am on a low still, and not whatever I did the other time where I was on the second tilt, and I was like, why is it not updating? But if we go over to weatherwise, actually, it is updated on weatherwise 423 scan here. And there was also an update too today with weatherwise as well, which I think was like I mean, there was a couple features added, but it was also like quality of life type of update too. Not seeing anything on CC as far as I can tell. What radar am I on? Dodge City on this one here. Elliot, I did not do that. Accidentally minimize my window. Oops. Warm my room again. Need some water. Ooh. I need to, what I need to do. Oh, my laptop's not, oh, right, yeah, because, what is, oh, let's go to that. Okay, this got, plug in this. Ugh. Alright. Alright, latest scan came in, it looks like, as, again, here. And weatherfront is behind. Let me switch to switch radar sites real quick here, and then because yeah, that is definitely a bug there. I feel like probably shouldn't be happening. All right, and this has gone observed now. So we have a observed tag on this tornado warning here. So it means there's a confirmed tornado. Let's see. I imagine it's probably weather spot. Yeah, weather spot confirmed tornado. At 426, confirmed tornado was located 7 miles northeast of Elmwood. Let me get my laptop up here. Let me get my laptop up over here. And then I also need to get this miner up here. All right. Let's check something. I want to see if it's just a case of do I even, okay, I didn't even connect the HDMI cable. Great. Can't look at stuff when the HDMI cable's not plugged in. That does it and then I also got to log in on this thing. I need to get my wrist off the trackpad so I can actually like drag over the window instead of it. I don't know. I think it might create 2 windows for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. But you know what? We're working with it. Alrighty. That goes there. Turn on that. All right. We're back. We're in business there. That terms of that. See, that looks like it is tighter. Okay, now it's updated on here with weatherwise, which I did check on another browser. Yeah, Weatherfront is just I say a little bit behind, but yeah, it was behind. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's oh wait, no. I don't know what it's showing for 18, but it didn't show anything beheaded. I don't know what was up. Okay, that's a bug of all time. Let's see what our velocities look like on this thing. Or was it just velocities that are behind, maybe? Yeah, it was just velocities. Okay. That's interesting, to say the least. Yeah, once again, we do have a tornado underground here. Or at least we did have one that was confirmed a little bit ago. Let me try and go over to Storm Chaser feed here. See what we got. Need to go over to Weatherfront. See what see. Jacob McMillan's on this. There's quite a few Storm Chasers on this cell. Which I mean makes sense, but yeah. And this is being buggy. That's another thing too. YouTube Studio has been pretty buggy lately too. Oh. Let's see. They did condense this here this morning. Still warned for some pretty large hail still though. 3-inch size hailstones. What about the tornado warning itself? The tornado warning itself says 4 inches on it. Because that is originally what was at for the severe dust warning that this was initially issued for this. Got a couple of severe storms going, severe dust warnings going on in, well, is that 1 or 2 that's over in Indiana? 2. And both of those are for wind and hail. This one actually has tornado policy, interestingly. And I can see why. This little circulation near Gentryville there in Indiana. There's no, there's no watch out here, but there is a severe threat out here, which there's no tornado. They didn't outline a tornado risk, but there is a wind and hail, I think. Yeah, wind and hail there. And then there's the report 421. I think that's the one I read earlier with the tornado on the ground there. Keeping an eye on velocities here. Got some showers starting to fire and pop up just to the southwest of this here. I would imagine I don't know if we'll have the situation where we'll have a rain wrap tornado, but it looks like it. From at least from what I'm seeing from Storm Chaser feeds, at least. So it's gonna be a little bit difficult to kind of spot. See. Heard a update sound, but that might have been not for this, but something else. Weird out where something got issued. Let me see. Okay, nothing new issued. It was just updates being put out for different warnings. Although this just got updated actually. Now I'm looking at it, since this is lit up this blinking way here. And we have a new Spiritus run. That's be for 6 mile per hour gust. That's to be over in New Mexico. That's including Highland Mesita and Highland Meadows, which is this right here. So that's gonna be near Albuquerque there. Kind of curious. What is there is actually an outflow, looks like, right here that initial the storms, and it's probably helping. Well, that's I don't know if we'll see. I don't know if we'll see any rotation out of these storms, but the more likely situation is that outflow boundary will probably undercut the storms. New Spiritus run has to be over in Pennsylvania. Let's see, for 60 mile per hour wind gust, and I think that's penny-sized hail. I do want to take a look, because I haven't looked at that tornado warning over in Ohio yet. We are in a situation over here, though, where, I mean, we don't exactly have the world's best radar coverage, but we can kind of, I guess you could say, infer where your rotation's at. We maybe have a little one near New Concord, and then this is probably the area rotation they got warned for earlier. Although it looks like that might have been actually up here, though, rather than where I circled here. Because if we go back a little bit, that aligns a little bit more with the reflectivity compared to what I circled down here. Water. Alright, so it still looks like we have a tight couple here. It's still making its way southeast. Be eventually crossing Highway 270, make its way towards Slap Out in Oklahoma. We have a second sphere dust warning somewhere that has some big size hailstones coming up too, looks like, or at least warned for it. Which is this one north of Boise City and the panhandle of Oklahoma, actually. I was about to say Texas, but the panhandle goes all the way over here. Also, good thing I was gonna say, because I know I have another actually, never mind. If I zoom in, you can see the chroma key out some of my stuff, even though it's not really green, it's gray, but Oh well. At least it's not a fully green shirt like I did a couple streams ago. Because a couple streams ago, I did a stream. It was like 9 in the morning, and I was wearing a green shirt. And the chroma key. I wasn't completely floating head, but it did chroma key out my shirt. All right, latest scan came in. The last scan it looked like it was tight couplet late, and then the current scan that came in, not as tight. It looks like. So we probably had at least probably a strong tornado at least, or at least a strong rotation of some sort in there for a little bit before it included. We'll have to watch for. Actually, let me take a look at the storm tracer feed here. Feeds, I should say, since there's let me see how. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on weatherfront. And then how many on weatherwise? 2. Actually, technically 3, because there's one storm chase over here near Tulsa. Which we do actually have a severe dust warning over here, which earlier today this was warned with, well, it was mainly wind and hail, but it was also did have a tornado postic on it. It may have actually somewhere up here, maybe not directly in here, but I know there was an area of circulation I was looking at earlier. I'm like, that looks like it could be rotation, but I'm not 100% sure because nothing really showed up on CC. So I guess we'll see in the next coming days if there was if there is any report that come in at all of if there was a tornado in that area earlier. Excuse me. Actually, hold on 1 second. I can let me go to this radar here. They also did end up they also did cancel out that tornado warning in Ohio, looks like. Let's see. I need to go 4 hours, I think, here. Let's see. See here. If I can find it again. Maybe. But yeah, it was along this section here from earlier today, which was actually earlier this afternoon, which that MCS left a boundary, which is one thing I know I mentioned in my community post just before the stream. That'll be something to watch for with any cells for today. New Spirit X 184, 60 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail, and there it is right there. And okay, the tornado warning's back. And this is on, I think. Oh no, it's still on the same cell. I just recycled, it looks like. So it'd be right in here if we do have rotation. That's gonna be heading into portions of Pennsylvania and also West Virginia over here. My nose. All right. Let me go take a look. 'Cause I don't know if we'll have to see. I'll have to see if there's any storm chaser directly looking at this at all, but which does not seem to be the case that does not seem to be the case as of current right now. That they're pointing at the cell that's 21 right now. That's the observe tag on it. So they'll probably, I would imagine it'll probably end up, I mean, they probably, we'll have to see. I mean, they'll probably end up continuing the tornado warning, but as radar indicated rotation rather than observed. And we have a new severe dust warning, which is more for tennis ball sized hail and 6 mile per hour wind gusts. So that is, they downgraded from the baseball sized hail it was at earlier with the severe dust warning. I haven't taken a look at the excessive outlook for today, which there is actually a moderate risk between Kansas, portion a little bit of Oklahoma actually, and then into Missouri here. But most of the moderate for excessive rainfall is in Kansas right now. And then if we take a look at the Climate Prediction Center, which actually I wanted to pull up on the side over here rather than on the weather front. So let's see. So there's the meso analysis. The Climate Prediction Center is right here. So for next week, the Climate Prediction Center has a big ol' above average for temperatures next week, and there's a very good reason for that for next week because there looks to be. I mean, like very. I know it's summer now, but it's gonna be very hot temperatures next week. And quite a few places like Illinois, Indiana, all that. We'll take a look at the forecast model soon. Okay, yeah, they just downgraded that tornado warning now on the one in Oklahoma. Still continuing as continuing as radar indicated with baseball size hail. But if we go over to the heat risk, which is this is like experimental product, but it does show the heat risk over next week, going to July 1st. So go to, let's see, Sunday here. You can see a lot of red up here in the upper Midwest here. And then you go to Monday, that you can see a lot, even more areas in red for major heat risk. And some purple areas here. Then we go to Tuesday, which Tuesday, there's quite a bit in terms of the heat risk between major and extreme heat risk on Tuesday. And even going to Wednesday, July 1st, too. What does it look like? Just general information there. So let's go over to forecasting models now. And we can take a look at our temperatures for next week. Let me, is there a way? I wish there was a way I can look at the, like, if I want to do, like, eastern half of the U.S., but, oh well. Alright, so going into Monday, this is around 4 o'clock. Actually, I should go, out here. And you can see, quite, got a hot one on Monday next week in Texas, Oklahoma. And then we go into Tuesday, still the same case. And then also up in the Midwest here, you got areas of upper 90s even too. We're probably even crack to about 100 degrees probably next week. And then continuing with that heat wave for next week, still low to upper 90s. And wow, that is I just zoomed in here. There's that's 101 there, which this is likely because of the heat island effect rather than surface being heated on like grass. And then that still continues basically almost all of next week, it looks like we could be looking at some hot temperatures. And I don't know if I don't think Touchy Page has it, but Pivot Weather I know has it, where you can take a look at the heat index. Let's see it. Let's go to that's it's on a GFS, and even on GFS you can still see how hot it'll get next week too. Because one thing with heat waves like this, you get a big you get a high pressure that sits somewhere like whether it be in the middle of the country or the eastern half of the country, and your jet stream gets bent around, and that's another thing too. Because since it'll be basically a ring of fire, which essentially hot temperatures, and then also uh, with how the jet stream is being bent up like this around a ridge, you can get cases where we'll probably see MCSs and squall lines when it comes to storms. But of course, that's too far out to know what exactly everything will look like out that far in terms of storms. But temperatures and dew points we could look at pretty far out from now, because I mean we're relatively close enough to kind of take a look at what we could be expecting for next week. Let me change my title real quick. Well, I do not. I don't want to highlight the whole thing. What is the I haven't taken a look at what the specific like severe risk is up here. Slight risk. And there's a 2% up here for tornadoes. And a 15 for wind and 5% for hail. So mainly damaging winds is the main threat, but a couple of brief tornadoes being possible too, it looks like. And my left ear is deciding it wants to be doing some tinnitus right now. Okay, now and then it goes away. Okay, great. As soon as I mention it, it's like, no, I'm not. I'm not ringing. What are you talking about? Okay, well, actually, it's still ringing a little bit, but it's nowhere as loud as it was like 2 seconds ago. Oh wow! Someone actually, I'll retweet it. Yeah, retweet it over on my Twitter, and then also send a link to it. But someone did get a picture of the tornado over in Beaver, Oklahoma. Wow, that is like I don't know if I want to call it a stovepipe or like a cone. Let me go back over to Ohio real quick here, because I mean, even from far, you can kind of see this did have a hook on it. But going into the layer scans, if you do have this big old blob right here that's be merging with this, and whether or not they'll be, because not all mergers and nudgers are favorable, but whether or not they'll be favorable for a production, well, I'll have to watch for. But there was something over here I was eyeing as well for a second. That little cluster of see, let me take a look. Storm relative here. Okay, that's just how far? Okay, I'm like, how up to date is this? which I mean technically okay, update again, but I'm a minute behind on scans now with velocities, but there. Okay, there's. I mean, the nearest terminal radar is over in Columbus. Actually, no, the nearest one is over here in Frankfurt Springs and Pennsylvania there, but that's not gonna be able to see this. All right, new tornado warning has to be over in Oklahoma and Texas too. It looks like, and that's to be on the cell that we did have a tornado on earlier, which just includes Slap Out, Oklahoma, and the tornado warning just includes the just this is actually just to the north of Follett in Texas there. Basically, we're like right near that tornado warning area. So 5 minutes on that, so that's gonna be led to expire out. So then we'll be still sitting at 2 tornado warnings, but one is one produced a tornado earlier, and one we're keeping an eye on right now in case it does end up doing anything in terms of producing a tornado. Which, looking at CC, this is all clear air right here. That is okay. All this right here, that's all clear air there. Nothing in terms of actually nothing in terms of debris. And there's a couple of actually new severe dust warnings. So one's one over in New Mexico, and then the other in Kentucky actually now. Or is that actually? Yeah, technically it's in Kentucky, like the smallest bit over here. Alright, so that's still mostly in Indiana there with the tornado policy tag on it. Okay, they did end up issuing a severe dust watch. It looks like for over here. And 20, 0, 40, 20, 40, 20, which are the probabilities for your wind and hail. So still mainly wind and hail threat, looks like, from what they put for this severe dust watch, but a couple tornadoes being possible. Brief tornadoes, if they do occur. Let me actually take a look at the meso analysis for up here. So we got in terms of shear. I mean, definitely enough shear to get severe storms going, that's for sure. Looks like from at least from what I can get from the meso analysis here, if we do get tornadoes, they'll probably be occurring from like mesoscale interactions, probably. All right, new tornado warning. That's to be actually just to the north of this, I think. Let me see. Yep, there we go. So there's your new tornado warning beyond this cell here, which includes East Rochester, Homeworth, over near Unity, and Calcutta in Ohio. So we got 2 tornado warnings in Ohio and technically 2 in Oklahoma right now. So you got 2 and 2 in 2 different states. Although technically part 9, me saying technically part 9 million. This is also included in this like triangle portion here. I say small triangle, but it's probably a big area in real life. But looking at radar, it's a smaller area with Texas there. So far, I haven't seen too much in a way of storms up here in our tornado watch. Well, there's a couple of little showers here that have fired up. One of a couple near Garden City, and this one over near Manola, Kansas. There, so we'll have to see what those end up doing later down the line. Let's see. Let's see what we can see from the terminal radar, because this cell is in, well, I say proximity, but close enough that we might be able to see something on this cell here. Okay, so in terms of rotation, looks like it was west of Paris, Ohio there, and it's a really small area rotation too, it looks like. From at least what it looks like on the latest scans. Because you would find your rotation down here. Let me take a look at okay, they do have it, okay. Which I wouldn't understand why they wouldn't, but which is ZDR. Well, another product that can help, you can kind of help look where your debris and all that is at. It's like the one product I probably should be using more, but I use CC a lot more. Than ZDR. Wow, okay, that's Sphere Dust Watch over here as well. That's been going till 1 a.m. Eastern. Let's see. They did put a mesoscale discussion out for this area too, it looks like. So I'll take a look at that. So this is the mesoscale discussion that they put out before they issued the Sphere Dust Watch. And see, the wind and hail threat, although it's isolated wind damage and large hail, and a tornado or two through about 01Z, which 01Z is 1 o'clock in the morning. Since we're in daylight saving time. If we were in standard time, it would be 12 in the morning. It's always interesting trying to convert things from daylight time and standard time when time changes. Because then you gotta get used, just getting used to change between standard time and daylight time in general, but converting that to Zulu, it's takes a little bit of thinking sometimes. Because like, wait a minute, alright. So got 00Z, that's 7, 8 o'clock. Still keeping an eye on this cell here. Let me take a look at Storm Chaser feeds real quick here. See what we got. See if we got any kind of wall clutter or anything, or if this has gone elevated. Just gotta keep that up on the side here. Because I mean, you do have rotation in there. Definitely not as impressive a structure. I mean, we are getting far from radar on this, but definitely not as impressive a structure as what it was earlier with this cell. Or well, it looks impressive, but in terms of reflectivity and velocity, not as impressive was earlier. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Oh, okay. I'm like, I actually hit the weather news button instead of the radar button here. I say weather button, but what severe weather button on my stream deck. Which, I mean, on the weather news button, you got the business skill discussion over in Ohio and all that. But yeah, well, there's a second report there that just loaded on in. What is this? Report on ground confirmed with photo and video evidence. Location I said via observers location radar. Unclear if tornado was on ground for T. Oh wow, this got well. I think this was a couple cells over here, and then the all congealed. That's now warned for 4-inch size hail over here near Boise City, Oklahoma. They got a destructive storm over here in terms of hail. Haven't seen anything in terms of reports quite yet, and that if we do have any hail ports coming out of the area yet. Obviously, you would not want to go out and hail that big. Would wanna wait till the storm passes, which probably within the next probably I would say 20 minutes till this moves off towards the east southeast towards like Texoma and Goodwell. Let me check on our 20 warnings over here in Ohio. Okay, why is it okay? Like, why is it not going to go back? But now it's going back. Okay. Let's see. Trying to look at reflectivity precipitation and velocities. And we haven't had any reports in this area in terms of like funnel clouds or wall cloud forests. And I don't know if there's hazcams because there is hazcam. There's actually a hazcam over here in Cambridge, but this is pointing towards the west and not southeast. Although we wouldn't be able to see the wall cloud from the southeast here in Cambridge since it'd be over here. And we would see nothing but rain probably if this is if it's now low precipitation wall cloud at least or wall cloud storm. There is one thing I was kind of eyeing here a little bit. Just this section rotation here near Lower City, which I mean the Hazcam shows it's pointing west and not toward the east. If this is pointing toward the east, we might be able to see something. There's a camera up here in Youngstown, Ohio. See what we got going over here in Pennsylvania. Severe thunderstorm warnings. One's for penny-sized hail, the other for 60. This one's about to expire out in the next 4 minutes. There. They did issue a severe thunderstorm warning on top of this. Looks like for 60-mile-per-hour winds and that's ping-pong-sized hail. And also throwing policy on it too. Okay, they're allowing this tornado warning to expire out in the next 4 minutes there. Since tornado threat's diminished on that, looks like. Which kind of figured from velocity, but just considering a range from radar, I'm like, eh. But it does look like it is mostly outflow dominant now. Hello, welcome. .9 magnitude earthquake. Wow. That's definitely a. I don't know what the like what to describe. Well, I mean it's a magnitude, so I mean it'd be pretty strong earthquake. And an earthquake happened during a thunderstorm. I mean earthquakes do have to do with the Earth itself, like the Earth's plates. Whether it be like going like that or like rubbing or something like that. I can't remember. It's like a slip. I forget. I feel like I should probably remember this off the top of my head with some of the stuff when it comes to like earthquakes and whatnot. But I think it's like slip fall. I'll have to think about. I'll have to search what the faults are for earthquakes. But yeah, they can happen during thunderstorms. I mean, thunderstorms. I mean, that's just that's just weather, and not with the ground of the crust of the earth. Okay, what is going on with my web browser? I'm trying to search something up here, and it's like I accidentally hit my arrow key, and it pulls something up completely different. Alright, see. So normal fault, reverse thrust faults, strike slip faults, volcanic earthquakes, collapse earthquakes. So yeah, that's what I was thinking of earlier with the type of earthquakes. With you got normal faults, and then you got reverse thrust faults and strike slip faults. Has the chance of the tropical disturbance in the Eastern Pacific gone up? I think it has. Let me take a look here. Yeah, so if I can click on it. So with the disturbance 1, they have a 080 for this. With I thought there was a second one they had out there. I don't know. That's not showing on here unless they just completely removed it because it had development potential and then it just went kapoof. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only one out there right now with that disturbance, with it being a 080. Let's see what the National Hurricane says about this. Tropical wave centered several hundred miles south of southwestern Mexico is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. This system forecast to encounter more favorable conditions for development over the weekend across the central portions of the East Pacific Basin. Tropical depression is likely to form by early to middle part of next week, while the wave moves westward to west northwestward at 10-15 miles per hour to west central eastern Pacific. So I think earlier today, I think it might have been at a 60 earlier today. Or was it? Might have been yesterday. Yeah, I will say it's definitely I mean, other than the Eastern Pacific. Oh, the Eastern Pacific I've been expecting to stay active for the most part, but the Atlantic has been mostly quiet, other than because we did actually have Tropical Storm Arthur a couple days ago. And very short time though, however, since it formed off the coast of Texas and then crashed into Louisiana and continued along the coast and caused flooding issues between Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And then also a tornado outbreak as well, which happened in the early hours of let me take a look. What day was that? I know I covered it, but I don't remember what day it was off the top of my head. That was on the 18th, which was literally last week on Thursday. Okay. I'm like, I thought it was not. I thought it was something. Well, I didn't know what day it was on specifically, but I didn't realize it was already a week ago already. All right. Well, time. Talk about time flies. Ah. Next name for the Eastern Pacific. Let me take a look. So the last one I was named which was Christina. So the next one is let's see. Uh Eastern Pacific. It's gonna be Douglas next for the next name and the Eastern Pacific. And then the next one for the Atlantic, if I can find the tab I opened, that's gonna be Bertha for the Atlantic. And we have a new tornado warning. That's gonna be on this cell right here. cell over near Lipscomb here that I've been kind of watching too. Although I think this is probably gonna be mainly wind and hail threat for right now on that one. Don't know if we'll see a tornado threat out of that. One thing I will note too is having quite a few storms initiate in this section here, and once these can heal all together, that'll make its way southeast. And where is the outlooks at? There it is. And our wind threat is right here as well. So that'll probably end up becoming our wind threat at some point within the next couple hours or so. Now, let me take a look back at the tornado warning over in Ohio here. There was actually a, if I can click on it, funnel cloud report. South of Big Arbs Campground, south this big old number Buffalo Road, East Rochester, Ohio. And they're still continuing that tornado warning, so it looks like there was a funnel cloud report on that thing there. I can see, I mean, this was a discrete cell. That just, that's merging with this now. Which, once that merges, that'll probably end up becoming mainly wind there within the next couple minutes or so. And then probably won't have much of a tornado threat after that once it merges there. New severe dust warning. That's going to be for 2-inch ice hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's actually another cell that just popped up just east here. Just east of our cell that's been producing destructive hail. It actually warned for 90 as well, interestingly enough. There actually was also a hail report too. Tennis ball size hail. Let's see. I need to update my Google website. Ugh. This tornado warning is still going for another 22 minutes. That'll probably eventually be. That'll probably. I mean, with the next 20 minutes, that'll probably just be led to expire on its own. Probably if that does end up getting canceled out. We also look what is this? Corrects MCD 1319 concerning tornado watch 392. What is this? So here's the correction they put on that Mesoskill discussion. Discrete supercell in Oklahoma Panhandle poses a risk for all severe hazards. Which that was mostly discrete, but it's becoming not as discrete now. Yeah, I haven't checked up on this Beaver so much up here, which is I mean there was a trail that they put on this, but it was mainly for wind up here. Yeah, so yeah, 50-30 for wind. All right, take a look at some stuff on the side here. So far, I mean, haven't seen well, I mean, I wouldn't say there's not a ton of Super Springs out there. There's a definitely a handful of them out there. Let's see, take a quick check up on some of our cells up here. All right, that cell that was over near Fowler fully fell apart. So now to watch what's going on up here near Garden City with those there. And then also the cell near Inglewood too in Kansas. Oh, that looks like it was trying to organize a bit there, but that's probably starting to die down now. Probably going into a environment that was probably overlooked a little bit from the storms from this morning into afternoon. Also, hold on 1 second. Severe warning for baseball sized hail and 7 mile per hour wind gusts. And that's on the cell that we had the 90 in baseball on. I can see our air rotation, which be down here, is still moving its way southeast there. But we'll take a look at our outlook for tomorrow and Saturday, which there is a slight risk tomorrow, which that is the slight risk is driven by a 5% for tornado risk there, which I guess we'll see what entails for tomorrow with our tornado threat. Because I mean, models are all over the place. To be honest, I don't know if we'll have the case where we'll see a MCV and a couple of tornadoes, or we'll have a case of a shortwave that'll produce a couple tornadoes here and there. And then Saturday we have a actually Saturday, Sunday, and Monday actually up in the northern plains and upper Midwest. We got 2 areas of slight risk. We got the one in Carolina and Virginia, and then the other one up here in Dakotas and Montana here. Well, the one in Dakotas, that's the one I have my eye on the most for the tornado threat there. And then over here will probably be wind and maybe hail threat, maybe a low end tornado threat there. But our main threat will be up here in Dakotas and Montana here on Saturday. Then Sunday, we got another severe threat again on Sunday, which is a 15%, which is equivalent to a slight risk between North Dakota and Minnesota. And then Monday, mostly in Minnesota, but a couple of states are in the slight risk on Monday with like Wisconsin and some of North and South Dakota, but mainly Minnesota and Wisconsin. And then outside that, don't have anything in terms of any outlooks further than Monday right now. How many reports are we up to right now? Dry throat. Let's see. We are at. Oh, there was a tornado report over in New Mexico. Landspout. That would explain a lot. Seems like yesterday too there was a couple landspouts too, looks like. And a tornado. Here. Yeah, that's a lot more instability than what it was at earlier, but that's probably because yeah, a lot more surface shading than there was earlier. So I'll have to watch for any discrete cells, however, because we had a discrete cell here and an app produced. Let's see, still got the tornado warning still ongoing here in Ohio. Let's see, probably got rotation over Lisbon there, and that brought out. Yeah, that I'm surprised this tornado has been canceled out yet, but or has it? No, it's been canceled out. Okay, it's just let me refresh this because sometimes the alerts kind of bug out sometimes on weatherfront. But no, that it looks like that has been canceled out with this tornado warning here. I'm curious if yeah, it hasn't even shown anything on there. So they still have this roll pause tag on, it looks like, for these spiritual warning. Okay, there we go. Now it's gone. 70 half-large size hail tornado pause tag on that. New spiritual warning SB in Texas. Which is an extension of this one right here with this spiritual warning. As before, 7 mile per wind and half-dollar size hail, or is that gonna be extension of that one? Let me see. No, it's gonna be extension of this one right here. Actually, well, it's not really extension, but at least it looks like it. Let's see. So yesterday, I did get a vlog, which I don't know when I'll be uploading that, but perhaps on Sunday, maybe. I don't. Well, we'll see when I guess we'll see when I upload that because I try to upload my vlogs on days that are not expected to be active in terms of severe weather. Like super that well, not super active, but days that are a little bit more calm than others. So maybe Sunday I'll end up uploading that. Maybe we'll see what we'll see. I guess I'll see what I do with that because I have no idea when I'm uploading that yet. Because there was a one big old shelf cloud that I got, or a long shelf cloud. So yeah, that. No, I'll probably upload Sunday, depending on It really depends on what because got the Spirit Die tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we'll see. Severe Die's swing down in Florida. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts on that. Maybe Tuesday next week I'll upload something with that vlog. We'll see. New Spirit swing 12 hot stag, 7-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and half life size hail. I take a meso analysis. Where is SQT? Not SQT. Photograph maps. So looking at the holograph map on the meso analysis, yeah, there's quite a few areas. Let me show you guys this. So, yeah, this is section here that the meso analysis is showing with curvature. So we got probably next. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, probably a couple hours probably if you have any discrete cells that can take advantage of the environment up there. Let me take a look at the vertical wind profiles actually. Where is there? Because with radar they do have vertical wind profiles. And look at the one at Dodge City. I mean you do have curvature, but it's like not super strong not super strong curvature. However, over in Wichita, there's a little bit more curvature there, which I don't know if there's. I mean, I know that we had the storm through there earlier, but I don't know if we have like some kind of boundary there that's doing that. Let me show you guys again here with the photographs. So here's one over in Dodge City. That's a tiny little hook here, and then here's the one over near. Well, the one over in Wichita. A lot more curvature than the one over near Wichita, so this is a little bit more favorable in terms of tornado potential. And if we look at the one over, this is over in Oklahoma City. Not a ton there. About this one, which is wow, yeah, that's yeah, definitely favorable environment there. Over near is the radar site. That's over near Nash, Oklahoma. Which actually, if we take a look at reflectivity here, the loads, we actually have the boundary here, outflow boundary from earlier. And that's making its way north a little bit there. So that will be a section to watch for there in terms of tornado potential. But we don't have, I don't think we have any cells there that, yeah, we don't really, have showers here, but there's not really any cells there in terms of discrete cells that will hook onto that. Storm's still struggling to kind of, showers. Storm's still struggling to kind of get going here near Garden City and Kansas. Both our tornado warnings we have 19 minutes on. I had to eat dinner. So I will be right back. Alright, I am back. Hope everybody enjoyed the music. Let's see, they against condensed the tornado warning, I think, here. Apparently there's showing a second one here for tornado warning. Oh, that's where. Which includes Halbert, Telqua, all the way up to Keys and Welling in Oklahoma. And then they issued a severe thunderstorm watch over here, 0-0 for tornado, 40-10 for wind, mainly wind, and then also hail threat. Interesting. And then we actually now have a wind report here. 101 mile per hour wind report from the Oklahoma Mesonet site, 3 miles southeast of Boise City. Oh, wait. Well, I haven't explained a lot with the 90 mile per hour sphere was warning from earlier. And also that tornado warning in Ohio is gone now, too. And they just issued a new tornado warning here. We do actually have a hook on this here. You can kind of see. What is going on with my throat? I saw like a car revving up. I just saw a tweet on Twitter from Amy Rose. Just saw someone describing Dust Devil as boneless tornado. I mean, I guess that works. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yep. Yep, works for me. Man, yeah, okay. Wow, you can actually see the damage and wind gusts with the RFD too on this. And there's also a outflow right here. I think we actually have a, yeah. That's our outflow right here. You can see on, well, CC, but also velocity too. And then there's also a wall cloud port. Large wall cloud also went directly over me, rotating fastly. If that is indeed a legit report there. Because yesterday too in Illinois there was a bunch of like reports of like tornadoes and stuff, but they're all false reports because someone was AI generating tornadoes into their photos, which I'm like, bro, really, really? That's I was drinking. That's also another thing too. Cause yesterday my mom got me Chex Mix, which I haven't had Chex Mix in a while. I don't remember the last time I had Chex Mix. Okay, I think my throat's good now. I think. New Stewart is playing for 60 mile per hour winds and half size hail. It's on this cell over here. They did drop the tornado pulse tag on us, looks like, too. If they, oh yeah, yeah. Well, even though last year Dutch Warning didn't have it, but yeah. Yeah, there's definitely the case where we probably will have a very brief turnaround on this before all this like merges all together and we just start seeing a MCS, which I mentioned earlier with the MCS, but I think we definitely are seeing the case of that at least eventually, not that now. Well, it's now in terms of like storms starting to congeal together, but not in terms of like it actually being MCS yet. It's a new service running, I think, or is that just the website just being broken? Let's see. No, that is this website being broken. Okay. We do have a new MCD coming out in a second here. So we'll take a look at that soon. Okay, the SPC Partners Outlook website being broken for some reason. Okay, cool. Great. That's great. Don't copyright me for saying that. I'm just saying random stuff. Threat for occasional wind damage will persist across southeastern Wyoming. Let's see what they mentioned discussion. Uh, the need for downstream watch is not clear. And there's the no longer 20 warning in that now. So still sitting at 2 tornado warnings. Haven't seen anything in terms of any tornadoes in the ground, which is good. Although I would say we definitely have at least in terms of a couple there, definitely a tight couple there northwest of Glazer, Oklahoma. Basically shifted the camera. So that's one thing I always excellently do. Actually, you know what? Let's do a camera shift. Why not? All right. What do you try is what's that 70 there? That looks like we had air ball rotation in it. I mean, this was tornado warned there. But when surprised we had some kind of tornado there. That looks like it was rotation and then well, no longer rotation now, but alright, they canceled out the tornado warning over in Oklahoma, so we just now have the tornado warning in Texas now. I did not want to go to the MRMS. Because the actually, you know what? I usually don't look the MRS on here, but interesting. There is, what is this? Instant rotation 0 to 2 kilometer HGL. So you can see where your rotation is at. And okay, yeah. So this is showing, yeah, rotation in there. How far back can this go? 12 minutes. So we're not gonna be able to see. I don't think we're gonna be able to see much. Actually, no, we can't actually see from earlier with the tornado that we had earlier near Beaver there. Well, actually, we got strong. Well, at least from what the MRMS is showing there with the strong velocity. Although we had our first tornado port there, so actually, yeah, this is where the tornado was. Not this over here where I circled. I'm circling the wrong place. Yeah, so you got your rotation in there. Had strong rotation according to MRS there, and then yeah, still there, and then that was the last of it before it moved off towards the southeast. What else we got? We got hail swath on here. We can see what our swaths of hail look like according to the MRMS. And this was warned for softball size hail earlier. So pretty good hail size hailstones. And even over here, same story almost, according to the because what the MRMS uses for the hail swath, which is mesh, it's an old algorithm. It's not. I mean, it's a good algorithm, but it's not. It's not well. It's not perfect, but severe hail index. What is this? Probability of severe hail. So this is like probability of severe hail. So it'll be like 2 inches in diameter or larger. Got Echo Tops, which this is the MRS. This is 18 decibels. So this is going up in like this is like going up in tilts basically. And wow, yeah, that's definitely matured quite a bit with that supercell there. 62,000 feet. What is it radar? I just realized we are looking at radar technically, but MRS here. Let me actually look at the yeah, even on yeah, even looking at the just regular radar, not MRMS, it still shows that too. See precipitation rate, 2 inches an hour in some of these areas here. Let me go over to regular. Oop. Let me go. Nope. 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 So about 2 inches in some areas. Yeah, well, about inch and a half some places. Although this was updated at 554, so some of these are probably higher than even than that. You can add. Nope. 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 You can actually another thing you can do is request soundings too, which is the HRRR, which apparently the HRRR, this is like it's like the wrap that the current meso analysis uses here. And we actually kind of have an inverted V according to the HRRR here, which would be favorable for damaging wind gusts. A little bit curvature. We do have looks like a tighter couplet potentially there. Let me hold on. See what we got going on down here. Probably at least a ball. Let me look. Probably yeah, we do have a low cloud on us. Probably a little bit elevated, probably. I did not want to do that. I accidentally turned on vertical tabs on Firefox. Trying to reopen the Climate Addiction Center. Alright, took a look at that. There's a 67 mile per hour wind report over near Slapout, Oklahoma. Let's see. Some water over here. We got a square for a severe dose warning in the very northeast quadrant of the panel of Texas. See, for 60 mile per hour winds and half the other size hail. Let's see. Because I know weather front doesn't have everything yet, but let's see. Let's take a look at weather-wise. There's your wind risk. There's your hail risk as well. What else we got to look at? See what our fire weather looks like for day 1 and 2, at least for dry thunderstorms. So there's your regular thunderstorms outlook, and then here's your wind relative. Day 2, they have actually a extreme fire risk out here between Arizona, northwestern Arizona, this southeast portion of Nevada, and then almost a good portion of Utah actually here. And then outside of that, they have a critical fire risk. So we got fire weather season going on over here in the Great Basin area here. And then let's see what our drought looks like. Which actually, that's Thursday. It is Thursday. So this just updated today. So they're still abnormally dry. But a good portion of this area here is no, it's not in a drought. It's still a drought out here that's been going on for a while out here in the west, but there's probably at least been some relief, but not enough to get rid of it. Let's see, rapid onset drought. I thought there was a thing you can look at for. There's this tropical cyclone formation right here from the Storm Prediction Center, not Storm Prediction Center, the Climate Prediction Center. They have a 20% out there. There's a 40%, but that's all the way over here in the Philippines. Let's see, soils. Severe drought. I can see areas where we have severe drought, which a lot of the West is in a severe drought right now. Flooding, and you can see where your flooding possible areas are between Kansas and Illinois. Wildfires, see, that's me over here, which day 3 to 7, which this is, I mean, you got this area right here because we got that, where it is it? Be this right here. Which I actually am kind of curious. Let me take a look at Watch Street. I haven't looked at Watch Street in a minute here. Which I know, well, actually, I say that, but I looked at it yesterday, but I haven't looked at it all during the stream yet. Which they did actually add flash flooding to their thing now. I forget. I thought there was some other things they added, but I don't remember what they were specifically. Let me take a look. Okay, so it's just so it's flood events. Okay, that's what they added recently to watch shooting, and actually got a few fires out here in Utah. You got the Cottonwood fire, which is 70,000 acres there, and then you got the Grapevine one, which is 23 thousand. Iron fire, which is 40,000. There's quite a few wildfires going on out here in Utah. There is actually a PDS red flag warning going on out here in Utah, and actually probably Nevada too. Probably. Let me take a look. Okay, so it's just Utah. Actually, it looks like for the PDS severe. I keep saying severe. PDS fire or PDS red flag warning. We actually probably look at that too. Does weatherfront question is does I mean I'd be surprised if they didn't, but let me take a look. Fire warning. Not fire warning. I need has to be watches. I don't think there's any extreme heat watches out there yet. New series running for 7 mile per winds and core size hail. Let's be over here. They're gauging Chatook, which is this right here. I'm taking a try to find the thing for the red flag. Must be because these are the watches. Long fuse warnings, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't show PDS on here, but let's take a look. Try to find a one that does. Yeah, there we go. This one has PDS on it. Holy, that is. I mean, I know there's. I mean, it's fire, but that is like pink, man. Yeah, let me take a look at otherwise, because I would think they would show that. Let me see. Red flag warning. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you can see PDS. So we got severe storm activity. We got wildfire activity going on. That's cool. So, let's see. 12Z Valentina profile from Southwest Ireland. I didn't even, well, are these, I don't know what's public, what's not public, but if that's public, that's cool. Being able to see the, soundings of European countries. Let me take a look. Oh, I found it. At least when it comes to some of them, at least I should say, when it's sounding. Okay, that's cool. One out of London, it looks like. All right, so here's the sounding out of London right here. Wow, like this looks like something we'd see out of the U.S. over here. Got warm nose going on there with your temperatures. But this basically, I mean, your average like severe thunderstorm or severe weather sounding there. All right, new mesoscale discussion, which is concerning the severe threat down here. Threat for damaging wind gusts is increasing across portions of western Oklahoma. They have peak probability 65 80, tornado 85 110, hail quarter to golf ball. See what they have for discussion if it's even loaded up. Let's see. Okay, so it's not mesoscale discussion's out, but not the discussion itself yet. So I guess we'll have to watch for that once it releases. New speeder, I say new, but this got upgraded. This is a 70 and 3-inch size hail on this one here. Other than that, in terms of tornado threat so far, it's been staying pretty low for the most part. Other than the one, well, obviously other than the one tornado near Beaver, but it's been staying pretty low for the most part with our tornado threat with ourselves. Others, for the most part, our severe threat has been mainly wind and hail, which I guess is not surprising considering a lot of storms aren't exactly near a boundary that can they not really any storms that are near the boundary that can take advantage of the boundary and having fixed damn chair again. We don't have any tornado warnings. So now it's just a case of some severe dust warnings, which are wind and also hail too. And this tornado watch, by the way, is going till 10 o'clock. But that is also another thing I did mention in the community post too, which is our level jet. See if we have anything in terms of our tornado there with that. Which so far, we haven't seen too much in a way with that yet. But I mean, we're still a couple. I think. Well, let me actually take a look at the visual analysis. Well, our little jet's increasing a little bit, but otherwise, it's let me take a look here too if it loads. But otherwise, I think our complex of storms here that we're seeing in Oklahoma and Texas, that's gonna be our MCS. I don't know if we'll really see. I mean, we've seen initiation attempts up here in Kansas, but and there's some showers and storms that are starting to initiate here. I think we got probably some kind of outflow here that's going on. Let me take a look. Yeah, definitely some kind of outflow going on there. But yeah, a lot of the initiation attempts so far with the this at least this section of our tornado watch haven't really done much, which I do wonder. I mean, we definitely at least had enough at least some areas had enough time to recover, but not all. All right, we have a tornado warning that's gonna be up in. Well, it's issued by Cheyenne, but okay, it is up in Wyoming actually. I just in our severe Darshan watch up here. And you can see where our air rotation is too, which is right in here. You can see actually Sarah Hook too. Probably got some decent sized hail coming out of this section here. This is warned for penny sized hail, but I can definitely tell you we definitely have something larger going on here. Probably at least quarter to maybe $half size hail. I just need to turn on that graphic since we do have a tornado warning. Seems like let me actually go back a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it's been developing over the past few minutes or so. Actually, decent. That is a really decent hook, actually, on this. We have. There's nothing really in front of this, too, as of right now. Although, looking at the latest scan, there is this right here. So this is probably eventually about to go outflow dominant in a second here with the next few minutes. So I'll be producing mainly damaging winds. That's gonna be going towards Cheyenne and Wyoming here. And I don't think there is a has cam up here. I wonder if there is there any. I feel like I've looked before, but I don't think there's any live cameras in Wyoming. Might be. Yeah, I'm definitely wrong on that. Let's see. I-25 Colorado, which there. Okay, so there's cameras, but nothing that I can see that are live. So I'm trying to find something that's live. And I think I found a camera for it. And this is in downtown Cheyenne. So here is the camera in downtown Cheyenne here. And you can actually see a shelf cloud out west here on this as this makes its way east and southeast with our line of storms. Nope. What is this? I'm guessing this is to download it, maybe? Let's see. Great. Okay, great. Yeah, great. That broke it. Yeah, there is our line of storms out there. Send this in the. I said say send in the chat, but see if I can actually get the thing. All right, here is the website at least for the cameras there, and chat, and then downtown Cheyenne Depot webcam is gonna be at the top there, and the link. Yeah, looking at the latest scans, yeah, that's got an outflow dominant now. It's you see the reflectivity is like flat. It'll be interesting to see see the well not wall cloud the shelf cloudness once this gets a little bit closer. Does seem to be like a little bit of like your hook like slope hook of the slope there, but I think this for the most part has gotten outflow dominant now. Keep an eye on this. There is another area just to the north of that I'm keeping an eye on here. And that is, I mean, that would support rotation with the reflectivity and velocity there. 7.5 magnitude earthquake can be powerful. I see. So what is the strongest earthquake that has happened that's been recorded? And there's Nightbot. Alrighty. Alright, still got another 14 minutes on this tornado warning. Still making its way towards the Cheyenne. And that's the rest of the water I had in my water bottle, too. And then some of it went down the road, too. Ooh, wall cloud report. Rotating wall cloud looking from intersection of US 283 and Highway 60. Imagine if we had if we do have a wall cloud, it's probably be in here. Let me take a look. Where I had a tab up for weather front on my side here, but I don't know what I did with it. Looking at Edgar O'Neill's stream, yeah, there is a little bit of a Scotty wall cloud there. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if that even picked up or not, but apparently, I don't know how many of you know Midwest Safety, that the one channel that posts police body cam footage, posted the video on the basically body cam footage from the Somerset tornado from last year with search and rescue efforts and whatnot. All right, got another 10 minutes on this tornado warning. Just over near Cheyenne. Once this does make its way towards Cheyenne, you're definitely gonna be experiencing some gusty winds here. See what the radar is getting here with some of this section here. At least probably between 45 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts potentially. So we definitely got damaging, at least the aspect of damaging wind gusts are that's gonna be entering into Cheyenne. Whether or not that trail threat continues or not, well, that's something where we watch it for. But right now, the wind is the main concern as of right now. See what time it is. 6:36. So still got an hour, about an hour, a little less than an hour and a half till the next outlook comes out. Looks like we got more attempts here. Cells starting to initiate. Got a couple showers near Ulysses and then also Huginton there. So those will be something to watch for, see if those sustain themselves or not. Because this entire area in Kansas has, at least, well, we've been focusing on this section here, but for most part, showers and storms have been kind of not really been able to sustain themselves in this environment up here in Kansas. All right, it's 5 minutes. So us. Oh, they actually did add Troll Pasta. I got a severe dust warning here. Yeah, I would not be surprised if we see one big well, that's a smooth, well, almost smooth curve there that I just drew. But I would not be surprised if we start seeing one big severe dust warning at some point as it moves. And it's moving slowly. So flooding is definitely be a concern. Which, as I was talking about that, there's a flood warning actually now. 3 minutes at tornado warning, and then I guess we'll see. And then I guess we'll see where we go from there. Definitely keep an eye on this area here. For I mean, there's a reason why they add to our pulse tag, which is because of that area right there. But wouldn't be surprised though if we have rain wrapping going on, which I think I just saw a storm chase feed, and yeah, that was the case. My throat's getting dry. I'm guessing that's the yeah. So they're aligned to expire out with the next minute here. Can you tell if my? Can you tell my? Yeah. Can you tell my throat is dry? All right. So here is that camera again up in Cheyenne, and yeah, there's your shower cloud making its way in. And that's basically what I saw yesterday, actually, too. And all right, we don't have any 20 warnings now. Again, for now. Check on our severe threat over here, which there isn't any severe threat warning over here, surprisingly yet. I say yet, but there has been anything in terms of severe dose warnings from what I saw from up here on my screen, but also on here for a little while at least. All right, I'm gonna be a wreck. I'm gonna use the bathroom again. All right, new tornado warning. Let's see for this area here in Oklahoma, which includes Arnett, Oklahoma, actually. So if you're in Arnett, make sure you are getting to your safe place as you're not in a tornado warning. Go to the lowest part building your home, most interior part, most interior part building your home was Lowest part building your home, lowest tier part building your home. And then our air rotation is going to be actually right over our net, actually. No debris signature, but actually, what's this report if I can click on it? Mall Club Port by Edgar O'Neill there. And we also have a wind report, too. 50-mile-per-hour wind report. Yeah, it's gonna be rain wrapped if this does end up being if this does end up producing a tornado. Oh, I just these. All right, so I may need to take sinus medicine again, maybe. Another wind report, 70-mile-per-hour wind report. Probably RFD surge there. Check out velocities. Yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely get. I have to get another water bottle in a second here. Because if my throat's getting this dry, I mean, I know I've been yapping, but still. Actually, I just wait. That's no, yeah. Today is 3 years since I created my channel. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, I already checked. I'm like, has it actually been 3 years? But no, it has been 3 years. It's insane. Share my screen. Yeah, I'm getting water. Holy, I just sitting here and I can feel my throat being dry. All right. Heck. Perks of having a closet that has water bottles like right there. Literally, I could just like walk like 2 feet and I get water like there, like boom, bam, pow. All right, new sphere. That's one SP for 6 mile per winds and half dollar size hail. That's gonna be all the way up here. No trail past tag. There's observed 60 on this. You can actually see outflow here. A little bit of hooking here over near South Greenleaf. I think the outflow is probably ahead of this, so probably won't have to deal with the tornado threat. We are very close to radar, so there's some detail that gets lost, but there we go. Yeah, there's your core size hail there. I kind of figured there'd be some larger hail than the penny size hail. Then that was warned for originally. My green screen out my the once again, this is gray. Not even green. It's, I guess it's gray enough that it'll reflect off of green on my shirt, even if it's not green. Interesting. Alright, cool. New Stardust warning, that's gonna be all the way up here in Colorado, actually. North of Fort Collins. They put okay, so the severe dust warnings in Cheyenne, they actually do have throw pause on. They didn't have that before. I guess they updated it to have that. Guess we'll see if they do end up issuing a downstream watch. I imagine they probably will. That's maybe in this probably next few minutes or so, I would imagine. Considering this is still at least this section here is still severe. Not sure about this section here with the northern half. Ugh. Drink some water while I'm at it. So my throat's not completely dry. Check back up on our tornado warning down here. Maybe some broader rotation in there. The nearest radar. Oh, we do have radar over here in Amarillo, and then one over in near Nash, Oklahoma. Wonder if let me go to Amarillo's radar, see if that can see a little bit better than the one over near Nash. Yeah, I think it can. Yeah. So it'd be kind of circle. Yeah, so looking at latest velocities, at least from where we're kind of looking at here from far, this would be the ear rotation in here. Still over our net. There's a new sphere destroying, which is a big one, which I kind of figured they would end up doing that at some point. It's just a matter of when. It's before half dollar size hail, 7 mile per hour winds, and also a pause tag as well. Trying to see if there's anything on Twitter as well. But that's actually kind of cool. So the single A affiliate of Toronto Blue Jays, the Dundon Blue Jays, they made their jerseys rain delay jerseys. That's actually pretty cool. I send this in a chat too while I'm at it. Boom. All right, there it is. And spam call. Great. If this is a spam call. Seriously, the amount of spam calls I've gotten this week is annoying. And it's always some like scam call about those like it's fake loans that don't actually exist from some company that also does exist and they don't mention. 93 mile per hour wind report. Wow. 659. Confirmed wind gust by Ammonator 93. Amount delayed report. Wind gust was measured at Highway 68 North South 189 Road. All right. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from whatever number just called me. Although the voicemail app that the carrier shows hasn't shown anything in terms of like a voicemail. So I don't know. And it looks like that 20 warning as well has been canceled out. Oh, there it is. Now it's there. And of course, it's a guess what it is. It's a exactly what I was just talking about with the fake loan. What a surprise. That's a spiritual swing all the way up in Kansas now. I think this is the first one I've seen in a while with a severe threat up here with the cell at least. And this looks like we do have a couple cells at least. One near Richfield probably that'll be trying to stay out, but this one looks like it's seeing itself now for the most part. So it'll be something to keep an eye on there. See, where's our outflow boundary at? Actually, this might have been a result of the outflow boundary, actually. Let me go back. Hold on a second, we have a new tornado warning. That's be in... I think that's be in Texas. Yep, there it is. Yep, there's your rotation near Allison, Texas. You can actually see you're kind of almost a hook in there, too. So we have once again, a tornado warning going on. This is going to be covering the area of Allison, Texas. Would not be surprised if this tries to produce a tornado in a moment here, considering just looking at velocities here. And we try as if depending on what, let me actually see what direction it's going in. Southeast. So probably see Sweetwater potentially in a tornado warning at some point down the line here. If this continues the way it's at right now. Yeah, this is a result of it. You can actually see the boundary right there. This is a result of that. Looks like new straight S1 SV4, 7 power wind gust, and also of course size hail. I think we're starting to get into well now it's 710 now. But I think we're gonna be starting to see the probably the effects or at least the influence of the global jet. That's right, by the way, it's gonna be going for another about a little over half hour. They actually did have winter for a little bit ago. Looks like actually it was like 613. W2 Mesonite maximum wind gust of 74 measured at 632. Still got rotation still in there, still slowly but surely moving towards the southeast. Still continue to stay places if you're in this tornado warning. If you're in Sweetwater and potentially if Radon if they do include that, but I think if you're in Sweetwater, you're probably in the next tornado warning if they do issue it. There is from the Amarillo radar, it looks like there's rotation here that's being picked up aloft. Looking at the radar over here though, it doesn't look like much. New Zealand, this one has the 4 ping pong size hail at 60. That's to be over in New Mexico. I actually see the cell right here as well. There's your hail spike too. Let's see. All right. So still rotation here. Probably a bit broader than was that earlier, but still something to keep an eye on here. As it makes its way southeast. Take a quick look at this cell here. Mainly just hail on this. And hopefully it stays in the realm of not destructive. Guess I don't know when the last time there was a tornado in these areas, but ain't nobody want tornadoes in these areas. So we'll see if we get an extension on this as a tornado warning at some point here. Because I can imagine they're gonna extend this potentially here with the tornado warning. like trying to. Let me take a look at. I don't know if second tilt could be helpful for this or not. Second tilt can still see out here. Same with third. So the lowest tilt, second and third tilt can see this out here. So there is still rotation out here, although I mean still waiting for on velocities to update since we're 4 bets behind right now, but eventually it'll update so we can take a look and see what we got going on with this. Definitely damaging wind and hail with this. Mainly wind. This probably got to probably a little bit outflow dominant, but considering that we definitely have rotation in there, so I don't think we're fully outflow dominant. New mesoscale discussion coming out soon. Safety outlook, and then there's a second one I think came out. Maybe no, it's okay. Damn right. I was about to like wait a minute. Let's see. All right, new mesoscale discussion is out fully now. So here is the new mesoscale discussion. They actually have peak probably 100, 125. Ping pong to tennis ball size hail and wind 55 to 70. Large thunderstorms may pose a risk for large hail and damaging wind gusts. A conditional tornado that may develop with eastward extent. And this would be a outflow bonder right here. So yeah, I was correct on the word that these were initially about the outflow boundary, which these are still making their way west. So we'll see what the because we do have this one discrete cell here, so we'll see what that does and entails for that as this makes its way east. We'll see if this cell latches onto that because we do have the environment here for strong tornadoes still, since we've had enough daylight heating. At this point, it's just whether or not they did say the tornado threat is conditional. At this point, basically, it's just whether or not cells can take advantage of the environment now in Kansas. Let's see. Isolated thunderstorm has developed southwest Dodge City within a zone to enhance local convergence. Surface stationary boundary and remnant outflow boundary. Uncertain remains regarding storm and additional development persist eastward, owing to local inhibition north of the remnant outflow boundary. A persisting storm, strong effective shear will support superstores keep a very large hail given elongated photographs. Lapse rate 77 to 7.5. Let's see. Conditional tornado that will exist. Enhanced local shear will north outflow boundary 35, 350, 1 kilometers. Hit by the vertical profile in Dutch City. Couple of strengthening southerly jet with probable risk for tornadoes, some potentially strong with things super lock and become surface state. Hardware dynamically lifting within surreal most columns can overcome Maslow's stability. Tail remains uncertain as time, however, due to the strength of inhibition across southern Kansas. So there's some inhibition in place, it looks like. But at this point, it's just a very conditional threat right now in Kansas regarding tornadoes. That was the probably most southern way I've ever said tornadoes. No way. Still got, let's see, 19 minutes on this tornado warning still. And it still looks like we may still, I mean, it looks like we probably still have some rotation still in there. So we'll probably see an extension, but once again, we'll probably see an extension of some sort soon with the tornado warning. If not, a severe directional warning with tornado pass tag on it. The latest scan just came in. That's still something to keep an eye on here. Let me see what the I'm kind of curious what the MRMS is showing here. Yeah, that is a pocket there rotation. They got this cell that's been sustaining itself, and then we got this cluster here near Big Bow that's firing up now too. The Wall Cloud Port 718. Currently west of Leedy, Oklahoma, looking north with a large rotating wall cloud about 15 miles to my north. And then there's a Wall Cloud Port up here too at 705. Wall Cloud 4th mile to the south. That's well, got about 10 minutes of that tornado warning there in Texas. And we are about half hour ish, a little less than half hour till our next update for the day one outlook. Which I imagine they'll probably maintain the enhanced risk. And then the 5% is probably gonna have some shifts, I would imagine. We'll have to see though once it fully releases. Well, I say fully releases. Well, comes out and fully releases to be specific. So looks like a couple of days ago, OUN, which is oh, it's like what and my cables in the outlier, but OUN, which is Norman, Oklahoma, National Service, Norman, Oklahoma. They actually issued a flash flood emergency a couple days ago on the 23rd. Looks like is there Atoka, Oklahoma, Atoka County, Oklahoma, a couple days ago. Once again, that's on the 23rd that they issued that. Seen quite a few flash flood emergencies this year. Saw I think a couple of them over in Missouri's here. I think one or two of them in Missouri, but we had one down here in Louisiana. One actually two of them, two or three of them down here in Mississippi, and then one. I don't know if we ever had one in Alabama, but I know we had a couple over here in Mississippi and one over here in Louisiana from the remnants of Arthur that we had a couple. I say not a couple weeks ago, week ago. Looks like they are continuing the tornado warning. So they're gonna probably let this go till it expires out. So yeah, a lot of photos from the tornado from earlier in near well south of Beaver, Oklahoma. Because that is the one tornado that we've had today. It was photogenic too, or at least where you can see it. It wasn't like a high precipitation supercell. Like all this right here was a part of the cell that produced the tornado up here. If you go back, and I need to go. Trying to see over my microphone. 4 hours. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you can see that right there. That's the cell there. Or at least portions of the cell are in there now. I did not mean to rotate the camera again. So here, 2-inch ice hail, 7 mile per hour winds. There's a cell here. I would not be surprised if this eventually goes severe warned at some point. And as soon as I said it, it gets severe warned. Okay, 6 mile per hour winds at core size hail. Got severe destroying still going on up here in this portion north of Fort Collins, Colorado. Still with the Pasta getting $half size hail. They got this severe destroying 7 mile per hour winds observed and $half observed, but that's going to be starting out soon there. Alright, we no longer have a severe destroying on the cell here. That was over near Ulysses. So I gotta keep an eye on it just in case. And same with the one over near Big Bow, Kansas. And then also a couple of clusters. There's a couple of clusters been popping up here near Rolla, Kansas, but none of them have really done much. I don't know what bug just flew down. Or if it was, I don't know what that was. It just flew down from the ceiling or something. I know there's spiders that sometimes go down here, but I don't know if it was that. Or is it a gnat? Might be a gnat that flew in from outside. Because bugs know how to get inside, but they sure don't know how to go out again. And there's a new sphere destroying for semi per Wednesday and golf ball size sale. So looks like they're actually this is normal Oklahoma. So this is completely different CWA over here. We'd actually take a look at on maps. You can actually look at the kind of warning areas. So you got your Normans over here, you got Emerald here, you got Lubbock, you got Midland, Odessa here, San Angelo, San Antonio, and they got Corpus Christi here and Brownsville down here. But yeah, normal Oklahoma has a pretty decent sized CWA. So yeah, it looks like that it's not continuing as a tornado warning. It's continuing as a severe thunderstorm warning. I don't know what that hiccup was. We got two new severe dust warnings. One for golf balls, actually the one that we just looked at with the golf ball size sales, and 70. And we got one for 70 in golf ball. Actually, two new ones there for 70 in golf ball. No torn pass tag. And we got 70 in penny size tail with this one here. And I got another severe dust warning. That's be up in Colorado. That's be for $60.50 size hail. How many severe dust warnings sitting at right now? 15. Wow, that is quite the poetry there that National Service Omaha posted this morning. Warm air is leading to convection across our section. Take our direction and make it appropriate attire selection. Let's see. New MCD. It's concerning the severe dust watch over in Pennsylvania, and we also no longer have the tornado warning in Texas. Let's see what that MCD says. Mainly for wind, though. Looks like gusts up to 60-mile-per-hour winds in western Pennsylvania. Make sure to take a look at the business scale discussions on here, actually. Wow, this discussion's expiring out with the next minute here. Or just expired out, actually, because that's going till now. Actually, right about now, actually. And then here's the new mesosphere discussion here. There's some counties in West Virginia and severe watch, but for the most part, most of the severe threat is in well, actually, it's pretty much. I would say I was about to say most of it's in Western Pennsylvania, but they actually really haven't seen much in Pennsylvania. This is supposed to be this watch was going to be going till 12 a.m. Central or 1 a.m. Eastern, but the severe threat diminished pretty quickly. It looks like loss of daytime heating, and low level stability has begun to increase from Pennsylvania to Ohio. Surface temperatures cool. And also the outlook just came out too. The current outlook, I should say. And they have condensed that well actually taken out a lot of the severe threat that we've had for today. So here is the current out. Well, the last outlook from 3 o'clock. Actually, it does show the time at the top left actually for this too. So this is what the 3 o'clock out looks like. Once it fully comes out, which let me actually check. No, it's not fully out yet. Let me actually check the because sometimes the partner page actually updates before the regular page, and yeah, that also has an update. Actually, no, it actually has. I was about to say no, it has an update, but no, it has. Although the risk I have updated, but not the actual categorical look yet. So, and actually, Hail hasn't updated. Only the Wind and Tornado will probably always have an update on partners page. There is an area that is rotating here west of Wheeler and over near Mobeetie and Texas. I mean, maybe something near Caramargo in Oklahoma, but the area near right here is a little bit more clear when it comes to rotation right now. Okay, and there's the new outlook. So yeah, I can see a lot has changed with the latest outlook, and they've connects that enhanced risk to where we have most of our storms at. They've actually removed a lot of the tornado threat. They actually had the conditional tornado threat. Surprise! Okay, they had the conditional tornado threat up here, but they condensed the 5% quite a bit. I'm guessing they condensed it because of a conditional tornado threat. Maybe I'm not sure. And also new MCD coming out for the Tornado Watch. Yeah, here is the once again the outlook. So we got our enhanced risk where storms are going on right now. There's your 5%. So they dropped the SIG one, which is for usually for EF2 reasonable expected reasonable max EF2, but sometimes you get something stronger with that. And then they did keep the 30%. Although I think they did take out the 30% from down here, but they kept it as a 15% SIG one. But they kept the SIG one for these areas here, but still kept the 30% up there, it looks like. And then our hail threat is all the way to 5 now. Which was at 15% with SIG 1 earlier in this section here, but no longer there now. And we won't see anything in terms of updates on the severe threat for tomorrow until the next day when outlook, which is at 1 in the morning, which we have as of right now, we have a 5% for tornadoes in southern Illinois, Indiana, and portions of Kentucky right now. Which I'll keep an eye out for tomorrow, see what we got for our tornado threat. It probably won't be anything like what we saw Sunday on Father's Day, but definitely a couple tornadoes will be possible. No doubt. And that cell near Big Bow still keeping itself organized. We'll have to see if that we also got this cell here, little shower here that just initiated there too. We'll have to keep an eye on the one near Big Bow in case it does anything with the next few minutes or so. Because that is right near the outflow, so or is trying to hook onto the outflow actually, and is initiating off of that too. All right, new mesoscale discussion. Ongoing thunderstorms may pose a low probability risk for isolated large hail, damaging wind gusts, and perhaps a brief tornado. And that's on the cells in southeastern Kansas. All right, be back real quick. All right, I'm back. So I still got a couple cells here. I think from what I'm saying right now, I think a lot of these. I mean, you can see the cell over near. Well, was a cell over near Sublet there. East is Ulysses. Looks like these cells might end up doing the same thing with fizzling out as they make their way east here. So, and then we got for the most part our wind threat down here. Haven't really seen too much in way of our tornado threat. Would not be surprised if they do end up extending a severe dust watch down towards here for mainly wind. But I guess, well, I guess that's something to watch for the most part. But otherwise, I think that'll be good for this stream for the most part. I'll see you guys in the next stream, which might be tomorrow. We'll have to see. Have multiple ways to get alerts, and yeah, stay safe out there. Also, actually, could be live Saturday too. There's a couple days this next coming days that could be live, but we'll see how that goes out. But yeah, anyways, stay safe out there. Have multiple ways to get alerts.